for helping us to give. We give thanks for your love that's never ending, nourishing our souls, healing what is mending. Zur Hayenu, zur Hayenu, zur Hayenu, we give thanks within your holy space. We give thanks for blessing us with grace. We give thanks for compassion that is boundless, praising your great name, hearing what is harmless. Rock and tower, life and power, you're our hope and our shield in every age. God of truth and might, morning, noon, and night, you're the source of our strength and of our
Shabbat Shalom, a prayer of thanks. Sovereign of the universe, creative source of all being, from you come our blessings from day to day and from year to year. How great is your love and kindness, O God! The towering mountains and the shaded forests, the abundant streams and the fruitful earth tell of your endless bounty. For this land so richly blessed, we raise our voice in joyous thanks. To these shores your children have come from many lands to seek liberty and new hope. We are all pilgrims to these living, giving shores. Help us to embrace the actions of our ancestors by helping others who come here to find renewed purpose and the opportunities sought by our pilgrim fathers and mothers. God of justice and right, inspire all who dwell in our beloved land with loyalty to the ideals of its founders. Give us wisdom and strength to labor for its well-being on the firm foundation of justice and truth. Fill us with the spirit of kindness, generosity, and peace, that this land may be a beacon light to many people. Thank you all for your many blessings. Amen. We just heard the beautiful voice and the beautiful creativity of Cantor Mark Salzman in his Modim Anachnu Lach. So grateful for my colleague, and his beautiful offering on this special night. We now rise and light our candles, and I hope that all of you have candles with you in your homes to light with me. So we begin. And it looks like I just need some matches. And when I light my candles, I always say a special prayer as well for my children. And I think of them and pray that they will be my two daughters, my two beautiful daughters. They will be like Ruth, Esther, Sarah, Rachel, Rebecca, and Leah. And I pray that my wonderful son-in-law will be like Manasseh and Ephraim, the sons of Joseph. So you can say those prayers as well for your children. And my assistant, my wonderful husband, has just brought me matches. And so here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We rise now for our call to worship. Baruch et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praised be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Please be seated. And my dear friend Linda Murphy continues leading us now in prayer.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tziva'ot is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. We now continue on page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivur Malchuto Leolam Ha'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. And Linda continues leading us in prayer.
Sorry about that. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
And dear friends, we sing heralding the Hanukkah, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. We will sing a familiar Hanukkah melody to Mi Kamocha. Please join me. Miss Linda continues reading for us.
Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, for soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
We continue on page 161 as we pray our Hashkivenu prayer.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
And what better way to celebrate Shabbat tonight than with our wonderful Yismachu prayer. Please join me. Yismachu v'malechutecha shumrei 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 Shabbat v'koreonei Shabbat Yismachu v'malechutecha shumrei 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 Shabbat v'koreonei Shabbat Mikadashi shevi Shabbat kulam yispeu v'yitangu mituvecha Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha shumrei 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 Shabbat v'koreonei Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha shumrei 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 Shabbat v'koreonei Shabbat v'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kedashtu Shabbat chemdan yomim oto karata Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha shumrei 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 Shabbat v'koreonei Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha shumrei 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 Shabbat v'koreonei Shabbat Lemasi v'reshit Shabbat Zecher lemasi v'reshit Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha shumrei 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 Shabbat v'koreonei Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha shumrei 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 Shabbat v'koreonei Shabbat. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. And now, if you are comfortable, please rise for our tefillah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid ilatecha Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sahara, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Agadol, Agibor v'Anora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim, Tovim v'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umei v'Gula Livanei v'Neihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magein, Baruch atah Adonai, Magein Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, V'chayei hakol ata Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'marit Hashem, Mechachel chayim b'chesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rahabim, Somech novlim v'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neiman nata l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Days pass, and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed. And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Please be seated. Oh, give thanks. Yes. Yesterday I found myself texting all day with my family scattered throughout the country. We were sending pictures of the creations that we had made for our feasts. And we were oohing and eyeing over the Thanksgiving Day parade, Macy's parade, that we watch every year. And then around 5 o'clock, I Zoomed my dinner with my daughter Jenny and her boyfriend Nate and his family. At first, it was a little awkward. Everyone talking at once, cutting each other out. Zoom does that to you. And then we settled down and had really a wonderful time together. Yes, even though we were miles apart. And it was lovely, and I am very grateful for it. Grateful for another day of life, to love and treasure my family and friends. I truly feel connected with what Instagram, Facebook, Zoom, and texting are all making possible. I'm all set. So many of you, myself included, are having a hard time finding things to be grateful about this Thanksgiving. But we are taught that gratitude is the ability to recognize the good in any situation and to give thanks. If you are having trouble with this, here's what I suggest. I suggest you take the 15-minute gratitude challenge. It is heralded by the 12 steppers and the Musar advocates alike call for it and say that it's a wonderful thing to do. And so how do you do it? You set aside 15 minutes for yourself, which for people like me may be a little hard to do anyway. But at any rate, you set aside 15 minutes every day, maybe for the next couple of weeks. And you start your timer. And you write down everything in your life that you are grateful for. Everything. And some people find it really hard to take 15 whole minutes to do that. So you have to really dig deep and think a lot about everything in your life. So it's actually a variation on what my mom taught me when I was very, very young. She taught me to count my blessings, and whenever I would be upset about something, she would say, all right, think of 10 blessings in your life and write them down. And some days all I could think of was 3 or 4. But if I thought really hard enough, I came up with the 10. And then I want you to create them for yourself. The great Musar teacher, Rabbi Ibn Pakuda, taught that there are 3 things that keep us from being grateful. 3 things. Number 1, we become too occupied with material things. Yeah. And number 2, we take things for granted. And number 3, we focus on the negative. Keep these in mind as you take your 15-minute gratitude challenge. And another thing I want to share, last night I turned on the Saturday Night Live, which I've watched from the time it first started, and I'm dating myself. I watched their Thanksgiving special, which went back through the different wonderful Thanksgiving sketches over the years. And they had this one sketch called Debbie Dowder. And she just was totally focused on the negative. And boy, did that make me laugh and made me realize how we all do that instead of, and we need to catch ourselves focusing on the negative and start to turn it around into something positive. So keep these things in mind when you take your 15-minute gratitude challenge. And if you only want to do it 1 or 2 days, that's okay, but I really want you to try it. It's my prescription for good health, emotional health today. And while you're at it, pick up the phone. Yeah, the plain old phone. And call someone, a loved one. Don't send an email or get on Zoom or, God forbid, text. Just call and reach out. No Zoom invitations, no prearranged meetings. Just call someone and share with that special someone all you are thankful for and be blessed by it. May your way be lit by the glow of gratitude, and may your realization of all you treasure in your life bring you through the dark times and into the light. And let us all say, Amen. 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 And now, dear friends, we are turning to our prayers for healing of body, soul, and spirit. And besides the gratitude prayer for that healing, we have our beautiful Mishaberach prayers to say to help us as well. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yivarech et hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. Our list is very long tonight. Please take all of these loved ones into your heart Sharon Arnold, Bob Aschendorf, Bill Baer, Henry Botuck, Sue Cannon, Sue Cohen, Stacy Eastwood, Eve Alfasi, Nancy Garfield, Ronald Garfield, Rebecca Geiger, Deborah Goldstein, Nicole Greenblatt, Celia Grossman, Irwin Hale, Glenda Heller, Joy Inventash, Mike Kalogris, David K., Sam K., Evelyn Crane, Robert Kraling, Cheryl Cromash, Diana Landau, Lori Licker, Nancy McGinley, Hillary Miles, Matthew Murin, Edward Nattenberg, Nettie Pogash, Stuart Rossinger, Eric Smith, Pam Siegel, Patty Siegel, Kelsey Sieber, Jessica Smith, Scott Smith, Erin Jane Spear, Rachel Tabak, Sarah Jane Victor, Brian Wasserman, Arthur Weinberger, Jody Wellner, and Jacob Clark. If you're thinking tonight of loved one other than what I've listed, please call out their name to the universe at this moment as we join together in our beautiful Misha Berach prayer. Please join me.
Avotenu mikor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach imotenu mekor habracha limotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Dear friends, we will continue now with our concluding prayers as we rise, if you're comfortable, for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. On that day, Adonai will be one, and God's name will be one. Amen. Please be seated.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones and those of our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. God cares for each individual life. When God's soldiers die, God mourns, as it were, each person. When a person dies, God's own name is diminished, God's own sanctity lessened. God's kingdom experiences a terrible vacancy. God suffers, as it were, just as the human mourner suffers. When we recite Kaddish, we offer God consolation for this loss. We say Yitgadal. Your name has been diminished, may it be magnified. Yitkadash. Your sanctity has been lessened, may it be increased. Yamlich Machute. Your kingdom has suffered a sudden loss, may it reign eternally. And so before reciting the Kaddish, let us reflect on our loss and the source of all growth and goodness. Let us reflect on praising God, who stands beside us as a mourner, and who also is the promise on which we will build tomorrow. We now think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us during the period of Shiloshim. David Robert Slotkin, brother of Mike Slotkin. Marion Burnett, mother of Wendy Wagner. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs, Harav Yaakov Tzvi ben David Aryeh. Ron Carlin, husband of Phyllis Carlin. And Len Bentley. And we take into our own, in our hearts, the anniversaries of the deaths of Selma Berman, Ida T. Bush, Dr. Max Cohen, Anna Davidson, Sadie Davidson, Anne Friedman, Sandra Jurek, Harry Clevens, Joshua D. Lowenfish, Leona Y. Rosen-Miller, Wallace, Nordquist, Ruth W. Pierce, Terry Lee Porter, and Bessie Schachtman. And if there are other names of loved ones, please call out their names for your sight. And know that your community is praying with you. Zikronam livracha. May all their memories be a blessing. Once again, if you are comfortable, please rise and join me in the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitgadash me Rabba. Be'alma divarach yurute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon v'yomechon. Uvchaye de kol beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach. Le'alam ulal me almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal. Shemei de kudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Dam Yaran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrama. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. V'yimru, 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 amen. V'yimru, v'yimru. Please be seated. And what better way to turn from our sorrow to our joy than with the cup of joy? As we join together and we lift our cups up high to the God of all creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. Oh, yummy. And we have a challah tonight. A beautiful challah. I will unveil it for you. Oh, that's a big one. Very beautiful. And if you don't have one at home, I'll come closer to you. You can touch your screen and pretend that we are all in this together, right? Which we are. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon. And everyone, I want you to join us next week for our family service. And it is a bar mitzvah weekend for Brian Winston, so that's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to have his bar mitzvah on Saturday morning out in our new parking lot, which should be really very special. I also heard some news that we may be getting our electricity this week, which means we can move forward with the carpeting and all the other things that need to be done to open the building to all of you. So we are thrilled about that. Also, in 2 weeks, we celebrate Hanukkah. And we're going to have a Hanukkah drive-in celebration on December 12th, Saturday night. It's going to be at 5 o'clock. And we hope that you all come and join us. Please RSVP, though, if you're going to join us, because we're giving out goodie bags, courtesy of the Women of Temple Israel and our religious school. And so we need to know how many to prepare. And they'll be singing, and there'll be the lighting of the Hanukkah, and it should be really lovely. So there's a lot of excitement over the next couple of weeks, and I hope you will join us. I want to thank you tonight to my dear assistant, Wendy Wagner, and to my dear, wonderful friend, Linda Murphy, for helping me with tonight's service. We hope that you have a Shabbat Shalom. La 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 la. Oi oi oi. La 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 la. Shabbat shalom.